Good evening and welcome back to the Mancunian Way. I hope you're all okay. My name is Mike. I'm your host, joined by Pat and Dashmash. How are you, gentlemen?
Good, thank you, Martin. Can't complain. Hope all is well your side of the world.
Yeah, I'm very good, mate. Bit tired, not gonna lie. I'm a bit tired after I think about a 19-hour day yesterday, but I'm not bad. Dashmash, how are you, mate?
Yeah. Hi, Martin. Hi, Pat. Good. Hello to
That's
the
good.
chat as well. Yeah. Great win yesterday. Happy and busy work for me today, but yeah, good overall.
I'm gonna say something now. This will go down like a lead balloon with some. But listen, all banter aside, we are grown-ups. But congratulations to Liverpool. They have won the league. They have deserved it. And everyone's going to go, well, you can't do it. Listen, we're all grown-ups. We're not children. They've deserved it. They've been the best team. We're not involved this year. Yes, it hurts. We'll be back soon. Don't worry. But big up to Liverpool. Congratulations to them. Well deserved. Yeah. So I do think it's going to be quite funny when on the parade they're going to start their big flares and they'll all be blue.
Yep, all 10,000 of them.
You know, the weird thing about that is that was being talked about 6 weeks ago. So why did no one get ready for it? That's weird. But hey ho.
Yep. Look at it this way, man. All we know is they're not Premier League champions. They just got the trophy on loan for 12 months.
There you go then. Good evening, Mark Lundy. How are you? Kath, Mark W. Luke, not in my lifetime. Happy birthday to you, mate, as well. For yesterday, the season away has shown the pure mental strength of Pep and the players, as well as Caldoon and the board. Yet, what adversity to come through. So it is amazing. Sorry, I'm just trying to see if Alan's coming on. That's why I've got my phone out. But I don't know if he is coming on. We'll see. I've invited him anyway. We'll find out. Tone, good evening, mate. Smash the like, please. Have a great show. Be on soon. Yes, episode 7 of the podcast. The City Tell Guy podcast brought to you by the Mancunian Way is now out. So it's out on Spotify, Amazon, and Apple Podcasts. There you go. So there you go. And you never know, we might get a certain Aussie on very soon. The Chinwag.
Oh, Aussie, yeah. He's always up for
No, I meant you clown.
Oh, okay. No, you're not very specific, and today's no exception.
DC, hope you are well. Might go to the cup final if it's available. So we're going to talk about that because I know there's been a lot of anger today towards the empty seats. That's why we were singing 2-0 to the empty seats. Always fun. We're Man City and we're on the piss against Eddie Fowler. Yes, mate, we were. Lee Gates, thank you so much, mate, for the very generous super chat of £5. Brilliant win yesterday. Kovacic, outstanding, which he was. Big win for us after the season we've had. Let's end on a high. Looking forward to the show. Thank you, mate. Look at Tone there. I don't know why I'm not in the middle. Come on, put me in the middle. All right, Tone, everyone said hello to Tone. Andy Fowler, bonjour, man, Mr. DC. Mr. Is it Mr. Mr.? I don't. I'm sure. I thought it was a lady. I don't know. Dash, yes, everyone smashed like. Lovely to meet you yesterday, Dash, by the way, at Wembley. Just want to say it was a pleasure to see you, Martin, yesterday on the concourse alongside my lad. P.S. I may ask you for the tickets if I can't get availability. I kid you not. I don't know what's going on here. I kid you not. I have had 4 DMs, 3 text messages, all asking for cup final tickets. So they're not even out yet, and let me get mine. Can I get mine before everyone else starts darting round on to get me getting them theirs? And I might not be able to get any. Do you know what I mean? It's like I don't work in a ticket office, people. Like, everyone's just asking me all of a sudden.
This channel is for the fans, by the fans.
No one's asking me for Southampton tickets. Cup final. Oh, yeah, we're all into that. That's weird. Never mind. You glory hunting sods. You glory hunting little sods. I'll go to the final, balls to the semi.
Pause.
Big up all Super Blues, Lynette. Pleased to meet you as well. Sarah, the Wembley mascot, let's go. Darcy, Wembley mascot, let's go. Everyone's a Wembley mascot. On the game, I thought our defence was great yesterday. Yes, Diaz, Joel, Yosko had bozo moments. There was no bozo. Don't start that, Dash. Piss off with your bozo moments. I'm going to have a rant tonight. I am going to have a little rant. I'm sorry. I'm laughing because anyone who met me, right, you know I'm all on my diet and I've had my kidney issues. I was trying to get up the, I basically died at the top of the hill of the Green Man yesterday. So yes, I was dead. I was knackered getting up the hill. So yeah, many people commented on it.
As long as you're not over the hill, mate, that's all that matters.
It was a bloody warm day as well, though. It was a bloody warm day getting to the top of the Green Man hill.
How warm were we talking?
Oh, it was about a good 20-odd degrees yesterday.
Oh, mate, that's an absolute scorcher. I don't know how you coped.
Well, in Manchester, in England,
jeez,
yes, that's
bloody hell. Should have spent the whole day in the shade. You missed the trick there. Bloody hell.
He's taking the piss here, this fella, isn't he? Even I had to park my ass on a wall for 2 minutes to take a breather. That wall's a killer. Getting up that wall, getting up that hill to the Green Man is a killer. It is.
Chat, let me put it in perspective for you. Right now, we're prepping for winter here in Sydney. It's 7:15 in the morning and it's 16 degrees with a top later today of 22.
By the way, big up to everyone who's just joined us from LB. Big up to yourselves. Hope you're all okay. We'll have a little bit of transfer info as well. We'll go through tonight, but we're going to start with the show. Jack and Rico operating as alternates 8 and 10s actually work to get more direction. Yeah, I'm loving I will go through the new system and everything. It was actually a pleasure to watch. At the Wembley bar, we just asked for the regular, please, boss. Yeah. Someone said this perfectly on X earlier. When you get to the kiosk or a program seller and they know your name, you've been way too many times at that point. When you go there, no, usual, sir, and you're like, frick's sake. You know what I mean? Been here way too much. And that's what was going on yesterday. So all these dickheads who want to have a go at the fans for not turning up, we've been 29 times, 29 since it's been reopened. Not in total since the new Wembley was built. 29 times. For about 10 of those years, we went 3 times in 1 year. Come on.
Went 5 times in one season.
Yeah. It's like, come on, people. Give us a break. Yeah, unfortunately, couldn't get to meet Steve and Daps. Yeah. Steve, well, I had to look for Daps. Daps went on a raid somewhere. Took me 25 minutes to find Daps. Found Steve easy. Daps, I don't know where he bloody went. And then I found Luke and that. We're having a chinwag. By the way, I don't know who this was, and I feel really bad about this. And I'm sorry, we're going to get into it. The nice gentleman who come up to me and asked me for a photo for his girlfriend. Please tell me the girlfriend's name because I didn't know who they were. Big up to you, by the way. Why you want a photo with me, I do not know. I don't know. You know, it's a bit weird. Don't know why anyone wants a photo with me, but hey ho. But big up, thank you for the support and everyone who come up to yesterday. And honestly, from the bottom of our hearts, thank you so much. That's not why we do it, but it's a pleasure to meet you all. Thank you so much. Blue Eye, me old mucker, how are you? Indriel is with us, and also Louis has renewed for a 15th month. You got Lewis Hamilton. I mean, I'm not surprised you've got Louis Hamilton there as your bloody emoji. Louis is a massive F1 fan, so that's why he loves it. And Adam has gifted 10 channel memberships. On Thursday, we are going to do the massive giveaway for the channel as well. End of season, we're going to do a massive giveaway where we're going to buy somebody the new shirts, new home shirts for the new season. So there you go. Anyway, gentlemen, we'll start with our guest, Dashmash. What did you think of yesterday? Line up, go wherever you want, mate, while I say hello to all these wonderful superstars. Smash that like as well on your way in, please, because it really, really does help your channel. Go on then, Dashmash. Off you go, buddy.
Firstly, very happy with the result. It was, I think, very good performance. I won't say great, but very good performance. The lineup was a bit weird to think about when I first saw the team sheet, especially no one would have expected Rico and Grealish both starting and that too in the midfield. So that was quite strange. But yeah, overall, how we performed, I was really impressed. The energy was evident in the team. We were pressing from the start, we were passing it quickly, we were using the big pitch of the Wembley pretty well, and I think Forest were quite nervous at the start of the game, which helped us score an early goal. And they were a bit unlucky, to be honest, in the second half, hitting the post, I think, 3 times and having a couple of more chances as well. But yeah, overall, very good performance. The only thing important was to get into the final, which we did. So yeah, happy a lot. Yeah.
Patrica?
Yeah, got to say, I think a few of us had eyes like overcoat buttons when we saw that lineup. Never expected that sort of thing to come out, but then the manner in which we hit the ground running and how quickly we scored, just suddenly, all any questions were sort of laid to rest straight away, basically. But yeah, it was just this absolute chaos of 10 men just running around everywhere, just looking for pockets of space. And while we certainly did that early on, I think we just. I don't think Forest really knew what to do with that sort of lineup. Who to mark against, who to play against. It was like a false nine on steroids. Basically, it was just take your pick, and just everybody was just running and looking for spaces and things like that. And I got to a point where I actually kind of enjoyed it. Just this whole unidentified chaos almost in a way. But I've got to say that I was really impressed with the performance, not just from particular players, but I felt like it was a performance where everybody on the pitch was at least above average. There wasn't anybody who you could seriously critique or really dump on, basically saying that they had a shock or anything like that. A couple of little moments here and there, but if you're gonna not have moments like that, then basically, then you're asking too much of a football team, basically. But look, I've got to give credit all the way from front to back, basically. Dashmesh, as you said, yeah. I give credit. Rico Lewis had a really good game. He looked so comfortable out there. Kovacic, absolutely unreal. Probably his best game in the City shirt, since we signed him as well. Got to give a lot of credit to Josko Gvardiol and Ruben Diaz. I thought they were really, really good at shutting down Chris Wood. It's tough when you're marking up against one of the best strikers in world football. So it's a very, very he's a very, very difficult man to mark. If not from, he's got quality finishing, but he also does play a good support act for other players around him as well too. So, while we should be, all Chris Wood Appreciation Society, I've actually got to give credit to the defenders. They actually kept him very, very quiet. But then again, I also wonder if that's just agent Chris Wood helping in our favour as well.
Chris Wood was shit. No, we're ending it. Chris Wood was shit. End it.
Martin, look, I'm not going to say you was shit. All I'm going to say is,
oh my God!
All I'm going to say is Ruben and Gvardiol gave him no. I'm giving credit to Ruben and Josko. They gave him nothing. Every time he got the ball, he was suffocated.
You're not doing this. You are not going to blaze our defenders to make Chris Wood look like a better striker. Get in your box. I'm not doing it.
No.
Stop with the Southern Hemisphere love. He's not even an Aussie. He's a bloody Kiwi.
Well, until we get more Aussies back in the club, that's what's going to happen.
It's like me praising McTominay and bloody all them who played for Scotland. What are you doing here?
Before I was rudely interrupted, I thought, yeah, just that we did a good job of keeping a real goal threat away from, you know, from causing us headaches. I thought it was brilliant. Yeah.
By the way,
I don't know if you agree. I thought I can't discredit anybody. I don't think there was anybody there who had a bad game. I think everybody was at least above average.
I do.
We'll
come into it in a bit. I'll come into it in a bit. I didn't think Sabinho was very good. And I didn't think Grealish after 60 minutes was any good. Thought he needed to get off. He was knackered.
But yeah,
I don't mean bad. I don't mean bad. The lineup, I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't have a meltdown. There was no meltdown. I was questioning the lineup though.
Did you get the sense?
Because I've gone all that way and I've been up since 5 a.m. and I travelled all that way and I'm like, I'm really up for it. And I thought Pep's messed it up again by dicking around. Thought he's totally going to dick this around for whatever reason. We've not seen Rico. This is not against Rico and nothing against Jack. But we haven't seen him for God knows how long. And it's a semi-final. Let's roll it all out. And I'm like, oh, he's done it again. He's done this again. But I did add, as you know, because you've got the group chat there, Pat, I did add, let's just see if Pep's cooking something. And boy, did he cook something.
Yeah, man, this is one of those ones where you're like, when you saw the lineup, you were like, I want to go absolutely apeshit, but I'm going to wait and see what happens.
No, I did the opposite.
And I think when Rico put that shot in the back of the net after 2 minutes, I think a lot of us were sort of like, all right, okay, you've got it right this time. And you've got it right on more occasions than you got it wrong. Let's just say that. So
yeah, the first time ever this season,
it was a hold your breath lineup. Just hold your breath, wait and see. Yeah,
I don't know why. I'm the one who's been saying, "I've faith in Pep. He'll get it." Pep's a lot, and then I lost all faith in Pep yesterday in the lineup, which was really weird to me. I don't know.
Just on Rico.
Sorry, mate.
No, I was saying just on Rico. Yeah, just on Rico.
I apologize for the YouTube ads. I know they're on and I know they're annoying. Just if you can skip them, you can skip. I apologize. YouTube automatically are adding them in now, Stevie. And also, as we explained, we are looking at upping the channel to potentially looking at full time. So we're changing things around a bit. So, yeah. I do apologize. Can you just bear with us? It does help the channel, your channel, grow, and we're trying to make your channel grow. Lenny's just laughing at my face. Yeah, I'm sorry, my face was like a bloody tomato when it got to the top of the hill. I apologize. The woman who was searching me going in must have thought, what is up with this guy? Because God knows. Yeah, you know it is. I had a little moan just for the sake of it. But like you said, I looked at the Forest too and I thought that the two fullbacks were very gettable. Very gettable. Was it Tara and it was the other guy? What was he called? Suffalo, whatever his name was. I've never heard of him. I'm not going to lie. I thought he could have got that.
They called him Gruffalo there for a second.
Was it Toffolo and...
Yeah, you're sort of in the ballpark.
Oh, Toffolo and... What's the other guy's name? Oh, I need
Abbott.
to look.
Was it Abbott?
Yeah. Yeah, might have been.
Yeah.
Yeah. Martin, you might want to shout. We just got a massive stack of memberships from Professional Idiot.
I haven't even... Sorry, I'm way behind. Big up, Professional Idiot. Thank you so much, mate. 20 gifted memberships. You are a superstar, mate. Thank you so much. Please say a massive thank you if you ever got memberships from anyone. And then Mike, just as important, has gifted 5 channel memberships.
On your mic.
So big up to yourself, Mike. And you know what that means?
More than you believe. More than you believe, I'm happy.
And like clockwork, Craig does renew his membership for a 6 month as well. Thank you so much. Like I said, big up to Kill Me Martin. It killed everyone, that walk. Yes, might never arrive, no Morgan Gibbs White. Right, so obviously it comes up. We score in less than 2 minutes. Kovacic with a beautiful little bit of play, lovely through ball, and Rico with a very tidy finish. And it settled everyone down, I think. Plus, I honestly think that changed Nottingham Forest's game plan, because Forest was set up to go as 0-0 or catches on the break for as long as they could. And within 90 seconds, their game plan was gone. It was finished, their game plan.
Yep. When you look back on the replays too, I'm surprised. I don't know if it's Rico finding the space or if it's Forrest being complacent in that, but for Rico to get that much space and be able to get a shot off from 20 yards out, 90 seconds into the game, I would look at initially. There was one little period of play, one little moment there where I thought we're going to carve these guys open, because you can't be that defensively frail and allow that much space when you're that early into the game and you want to set up with 10 men behind the ball.
But I don't think it was too much space. I think Rico did pretty well there. I think he just took it in the he just took one touch and shot it very quickly.
Yeah.
To be honest, I don't think Forrest did anything wrong there, because if you see the replay, the two defenders were so close blocking the shot. So I think they were just surprised by how quick Rico shot, and I think they were not expecting it. And to be honest, I was just saying that on Rico, that was one issue from me regarding Rico, that whenever he used to get into these positions, he always used to pass. He never tries a shot. And I had this discussion, I don't know, on this channel itself, or I don't know, but he never shoots. But yesterday I was surprised that he shot, and yeah, we scored. So because Rico goes into these spaces a lot, his play is very nice in those middle to right section, but he never shoots. He always tries to put someone in, but this time he tried a shot and succeeded. So he should do that often.
For that reason too, Dashmesh, I was going to mention as well, and I'm sure we'll get into it as we dissect the game more, but in 90 seconds we're 1-0 up from a shot from 20 yards out, and then we spend the rest of the game trying to walk the ball in like we've done for so many years. It got really frustrating there at points, didn't it? I mean, I think we had Nico try to walk it in twice. I think Mamouche tried to walk one in as well. It was just going back to those days of because you remember Sterling used to do that a lot. David Silva used to do it from time to time as well too. And I thought, oh, here we go again. Old habits die young. Sorry?
I thought Mamouche had a game of 2 halves.
I totally agree with you. I think, I'm
not to say he was bad. He was not involved in that game in the first half for whatever reason. He seemed on the periphery of the whole game. And then second half, he just lit up.
He's the second half, his link-up play with Jack Grealish was pretty good.
Yeah. I don't think that's happening, Ronald. I don't think that'll happen. Just my opinion, I don't think Rodrigo will happen. Somebody they've liked for a while, he was on his double runs, he was. But I don't know. I don't know. I've got a feeling.
Yeah, initially I was up for getting Rodrigo as well, but last month how he has performed for Real Madrid, I don't think so. We should go for him.
We'll see. But no, I've got to say, I thought Kovacic was superb. I have said this for months. I understand. I think people have looked at Kovacic and expected something like Rodri out of the guy. Kovacic was 25 million quid. Look at his resume, his CV, the clubs he's played for. We're not, with all due respect, we're not talking Rotherham here or blood. We're talking Inter Milan, Real Madrid, Chelsea. The guy has got that CV and his medal collection and his trophy collection because he's a damn good player. And for 25 million quid, I don't understand some of the hate, to be honest. I don't get it. I just thought he glided around that pitch like he owned the thing.
Yeah, he was amazing.
Martin, I think sorry, Dashmesh, I think that the anti-Kovacic agenda sort of stems from what a lot of fans thought of him when he was at Chelsea, because he was always in the shadow of Jorginho and Kante, particularly Kante. And I think with Chelsea fans, they saw him as I wouldn't say they saw him as surplus, but they basically said we have a sort of a spoil of riches in that number 6 to number 8 role, basically. So I think for them, it was always, he was never really seen as like a mainstay or someone who was going to be, you know, a well-known name at the club, basically. Like, a good servant to them, obviously helped them win a Champions League and things like that. I wonder if just sort of the way that maybe their fans sort of treated him sort of rolled over in a way to how we treated him when he came to the club. And while he was a little bit patchy in parts for the start of his first season at the club, I think since he came back from his last injury, or came back from the injury that he'd suffered after he had that, you know, should have got a red card against Arsenal last season. Since then, he's always just been consistently performing, and I'd say since January this year, he's probably been up there as one of our best players on the field in terms of consistent performances and just all round, just been playing some really good football at the moment. So long may it continue. I think he's certainly giving a worthwhile case to to making sure that he stays around for a little bit longer as well. So yeah, if he keeps on this way, we're just going to be a spoil of riches basically when Rodri comes back. So we'll have, that sort of deep line midfielder role. We'll have the depth of Rodri, Nico Gonzalez, and Kovacic as well. And I can't wait. I think we're going to be spoilt when it comes to rotation in that position.
Yes, there was a Martin meltdown. My throat is bad because I literally lost my voice yesterday when I got home. There's a YouTube shot out of me singing all the way through it, which was quite funny. Cade, by the way, I'm with Pep. We finished third. It's not been a good season. Cade, stop. I'm going to. That was part of my rant. I think expectations have gone through the roof. You're telling me third in FA Cup. I don't agree with Pep on that. That's just me. I get what Pep's saying, but if you said to Pep, "Are you going to win the league every year, Pep?" Even he'll tell you no. That's the target, but.
Yeah, and I don't think Pep said anything wrong, but I don't think he also mentioned that if he doesn't win, we should have a meltdown. Like, it was just that our target is winning the league, or like, let's say, winning a Champions League. That is our target. If we don't achieve that, it's not a I won't say successful. I would say it is not a great season, but it's not a season to have a meltdown as well. Especially if we finish in the Champions League positions, win the FA Cup. I think after winning 4 leagues in a row, it's a very acceptable season, and like more than acceptable season. And next year, if we at least compete for the league, I think it's fine.
Yeah, no, it is. I thought Forest were very, very. I mean, a lot of Forest fans spoke to. They're disappointed with their first half. They think it was a thing of two halves. Obviously, things changed at halftime when they brought on Ilanga, which we all saw that. I just thought it was one of the most dominant first half performances I'd seen in a while. And there was no point in that first half I went, "Oh, we're in trouble." It was one of the most comfortable halves of football I've seen in a while. I think the occasion was what probably made it feel a bit more nervy. But if I was sat in the Etihad watching that, I'm going, yeah, comfortable here.
Do you think we played the occasion better?
Yeah, because we've been there and done that. And only that, I think the system of the 4-2.
So you can basically say we had that advantage before we'd even kicked the ball.
Well, he's basically playing the back 4, 2, 2, 2. And what we're doing is we're covering every area. And we were doing what Forest generally do to other people. We were pressing them early. It was like the old Barca days where you had 10 seconds to get the ball back. If you lost it, you had 10 seconds to get it back. And that's
don't say Barca days, Martin. Say City days from last 2 years.
I don't mean football. I'm talking more the rules, because Pep's always had that rule. Dash smash. That ball has to come back within 8 to 10 seconds. And that's what we did yesterday. Now, my biggest thing yesterday was simply, I'm going to try and shut up in a minute to save my voice. But yes, 1 winning 14 was crap and it was bad. But we're now 8 undefeated with 4 straight wins. And it's not like we're playing badly. We're playing well. But people want this exciting football like 17-18. 17-18 was 6-7 years ago. You know what I mean? It's like, just get over it. already. We won trebles since then and quadruples since then. So I don't know. I think people go back too far. But that's just me anyway. And
Just
if we
on
finish
that
season
note,
5 wins, 13, 14 unbeaten and 9 straight wins. That's last season's title winning run. So there you go.
Building momentum. I said it before, it's building momentum. I expect next season we'll come out of the block strong.
Yeah. I heard that as well, Craig, about the Fernandinho. So where was you at halftime? Would you have made any changes? Was you happy with the lineup? Was you happy with the way we were playing?
yeah, I think I was pretty happy. I wasn't expecting any changes or wanted any changes in the halftime. And like, I don't know about others, but I wasn't nervous in the first half. Like, it was most comfortable I have seen City since the start of the season. So I was pretty comfortable. I just got a bit nervous once Guardiola had that mistake and Morgan White was clear on the goal. Before that, I wasn't nervous. Okay, they had one or two good chances, but I wasn't nervous. I was expecting that we will finish the game well and we would win. But I think after that moment, I was a bit nervous. But before that, I was comfortable, and especially during the halftime, I was very comfortable.
Okay. Pat, would you have changed anything at halftime?
No, but if I was forced to, I would have brought on Doku for Savinho. That was it. That's all I could possibly say, to be honest. Just offer a different dynamic on the wings. That was it, basically. But apart from that, yeah, just you could almost say in a way, it kind of felt like the scoreline maybe didn't reflect the performance in the first half. But
No.
Besides that, yeah, if I was forced to make a change, I'd say Doku over Savio. But that was about it, really. Can't really discredit anybody. I still believe that everybody had at least bare minimum, like an average to an above average performance. So
I totally disagree with this, Benner. I think you're being harsh, Benner. City wasn't great yesterday. Forest reported. So I mean, some are in the camp where they won't give City any credit anymore.
I think it was both. Yeah.
This season's hurt them too much. I think City were good yesterday. That's my honest opinion. I think we were good yesterday.
We've had
And
games like this
Forest-
before where the scoreline hasn't reflected the performance. We just lack being clinical. That was it. And we just weren't quite as clinical as we can be. So that was it. Yeah. You can't discredit anybody. I mean, I know people are going to come back and say, oh, Gibbs White hitting the post twice and Alanga should have converted that chance early in the second half. I totally get that. But at the end of the day, they weren't as clinical and we weren't clinical either. But we converted chances. We converted enough chances that it was able to get us through. So fair play. I think the performance was fine, just missed clinical. That was it.
Yeah, I agree with that. Super City had their chances, came from our mistake. We dominated the entire game. I don't know what fans want to say it was more they were bad than we were good. I don't know what fans want from there then. I'm a bit confused of what fans want. I don't know. It baffles me a little bit. Yeah, and I'd say that our experience did help in that. Second half, obviously, they came out, they made the change. Very, very similar chance we did give away with the ball in from our left. From our right, their left, where Alanga missed the chance. If Alanga then, it's a weird one, because if Alanga scores that, you're at 1-1, and does it change up the other end? But I did say to my son at half time, Forest are going to change now, because they've got to do. You're at a one-off game that has to end there and then. They've got to score now to have any chance of going through. Of course, they were going to have a little bit of a go. And I've seen some people today saying they were disappointed because we gave up chances. This is professional football at the highest level. Of course, we're going to give up some chances. That's just football. I think some have gone into the realm of giving up chances as a negative thing now. But we gave up chances in every when we won all these leagues, we gave up chances. I think some are expecting perfection, and there's no such thing. That's just me, though. I don't know. Mancunian, where you have one mission on Cup, I will get a photo of Conway with half and half. I will. Thanks, BM. Thanks to you as well, DC. Wolfie can hold that. Even Wolfie said it. He was surprised at the way they played. It's like I was telling some Forest fans coming out, and some of them were even questioning Nuno. I'm like, are you taking the piss? Do you remember when Leicester City won the league and they all got a bit cocky and a bit arrogant the year after? I think that's just football fanism in 2025. I think success goes to everyone's heads. Because the way, I mean, some Forest fans were brilliant yesterday, but the way a small minority I was listening to and talking to, I was like, I thought they were Real Madrid the way they were talking. I found it astonishing. But hey, I suppose that's what doing well brings.
I think Wolfie, but for about a week before, wasn't Wolfie basically saying that? Sure, he'd love to get a win at any cup final where you play at Wembley, cup semi or semi-final, or semi-final or final. But at the end of the day, like his priority was to get the top 5.
Yes.
And again, Forest do fall into an unusual category, a bit of a niche category because of their history in the competition. So I kind of get why they would probably want to put not necessarily eggs in the basket, but if they had a choice, if they had to prioritize one or the other, I could see why there'd be a good number of that fan base that would be all about the Champions League spots.
Yeah. No, listen, Puma, I get the drop off, but I think also everyone is ignoring the amount of injuries we've had and what Pep's gone through. There's no coincidence that Pep split from his wife around about the time he went through this. Now he's back with his wife. He's suddenly back on top form and he's figuring everything out. That's not a coincidence. It's why I'm saying about Foden. Just let the lad let him try and get over what he's getting over, and we'll see where we land with it. I don't know. We will see. Did anyone see the long sausages? I took a picture of someone selling popcorn candy floss. I got a picture of it. What were they selling yesterday? Pick a mix.
I'm sorry. Did you go to Wembley or see Willy Wonka? What the hell's going on?
Yeah, that's what I was. Where is it?
Long snags, popcorn, fairy floss. What are you on about?
There was popcorn, jumbo long hot dogs.
God's sake.
Unicorn
farts, like
blue candy floss.
What are we on about?
Candy floss, pick a mix, small popcorn, large popcorn, salted or sweetened. Korean chicken chips, that was 15 quid or £12. One was £12, one was 15. The problem
that doesn't sound too bad.
I bought chicken and chips in a small bowl, a Pepsi and a bottle of water, 22 quid.
Jeez.
And that's all I bought. I didn't buy anything else.
No, I still think I paid more at Yankee Stadium last month. Because that was like chicken tenders and chips, like 2 beers was something like was like $48 or something.
Yes, Haaland, Rodney now both back in training. We'll see. Let's see if we're missing. I'm trying to keep up with all you amazing chats as well. Where we are, Mike, we've done that one. Professor Elliot, thank you so much for the $20. Sorry, my voice is so bad at the minute. Not winning a trophy is fine. It happens. The problem was that there was an option to change it when we went 1-14. That I agree with on hindsight, and Pep said that as well, professional idiot. Pepper said that. I think he said I should have brought the youngsters in sooner. He's taking that gamble. You know, everyone makes, like I said, Pep was in a bad situation. Maybe if he was all happy at home, things would have been a bit different. If it didn't work, then fair dues, I would have said next season. Nope. And I totally agree with you. And thank you so much for your very kind generosity there. It's an amazing one. Bella gifted one channel membership. Thank you so much. And then gifted another one. Superstar, please say thank you if you've been gifted that membership. And Spartacus with a 10. Brazilian. Finish that for me, Pat, before my voice goes.
Spartacus with the 10 ace. Thanks, mate. Football is a game with two sides. We must be the luckiest side in the land. We scammed away to 1 loss in 10 and could go 1-14 once again, finishing second and winning the FA Cup is not a bad season.
Thank you.
And there goes my camera again. Shit.
I've told him I'm going to buy him a new camera, but he keeps delaying it. I don't know why. We're going to buy him a new
Because I'm still shocked you're going to pay for one. Anyway, get your super chats in, everyone.
Let's deal with Leverkusen with €130. He's 110 with McAtee going the other way, which is 20. Yep, there you go then. Did I do the £10 charge? What? Oh, yeah. I did coins. Forest had a golden age, 77.81. Either side, they were just an average club. But yeah, I'm going to ask you Bob a question. You know the incident that led up to the goal for the corner? Did anyone else think that was a penalty? Because I watched it live and I watched it back. For me, that hand stops that ball going in the net. And no one's going to say it was a natural position. If a natural position, right, I kind of get, but that action of the ball hitting his arm stopped that ball going in the net. So for me, penalty.
Yeah.
Am I talking waffle there or what?
Yeah,
No, I'd agree with you. I agree with you.
I was thinking the same. I don't know why there's not like this, like a part of the rule that if the ball is going in the goal, irrespective if it's a natural position or not, it's a penalty. Like you just say that you shouldn't penalize the defender more. Don't give him a yellow card, but at least it should be a penalty, because if the hand wasn't there, it was going to the goal. So I don't know why they don't have that line in the rule, but I was thinking exactly the same thing, that why it is not a penalty. I understand it's not the defender's fault. It was a natural position, but still the ball was going to the goal. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't care. Position or natural position. If hand's going to impede on a goal scoring opportunity, it's a penalty all day. Possibly even possibility of disciplinary as well. Too could even be a red card, depending on different ref may have given a different outcome for that one. So yeah, I'm a bit perplexed as to why it wasn't given. But if we want to segue to it, Martin, we ended up getting our second goal in the most unusual or the least likely way possible, off a bloody corner.
The least Manchester City way this season.
The least.
We scored off a set piece.
Mamouche was on the corner.
A header off a corner. Yes. Football world was Manchester City are capable of scoring headers off corners.
It wasn't just a corner. We scored a header. That was the biggest thing. Well, Sam, there, I'm not more of the Mancunian way. Go back. I did congratulate you at the start of the stream, Sam. I did congratulate you. That's all you're getting, though. We'll be back next season, so just keep it warm. At least it's staying in the Northwest for a year. But yeah, we scored a header. Gavardio, back post. Hello. Everyone wants to moan now, BB. That's the problem. Nick, I am going to read out that I have downloaded the letter. I am going to read that out when we finish this section, mate. So keep doing your amazing work, Nick. Do appreciate it.
One thing I wanted to point out with that goal as well, too, if you go back and have a look at the replays, is before Mamouche delivers the ball in, you can actually watch Morgan Gibbs-White. He's actually staring straight at Gavardio. He's staring straight at him, looking to see who's going to mark him in that. Realizes nobody marks him, but what does he do? Runs away, runs towards the back post. And it leaves basically Gavardio unmarked. I mean, it was a fantastic ball when you think about it from Mamouche, because it had enough dip on it that it got just over Murillo's head, and then Gavardio just tucked it away unchallenged in that. So got to give credit to Mamouche too. The cross was absolutely fantastic. Why is he not doing more corners?
Yeah,
because we said this when we signed him. He started popping up with a few corners here and there, and he whipped in some absolutely beautiful crosses and corners. Yeah,
because there's a hierarchy. When KDB's on the pitch, KDB takes them. KDB wasn't on the pitch.
but if you get a better one, like like if you sign a better player, then
Doesn't
I
work.
think it should
That's
switch.
Mash, I totally agree with what you're saying, but it doesn't work that way. Have you ever noticed certain captains of certain football teams will take the penalties as well? You ever noticed that?
No, I think penalty. No, but I think penalties are a bit different because there's a huge chance that you would be going to score. But with corners, if you have a, let's say, even a 10% more chance that someone else would score, like help us score more goals, then I think we should take it.
Yeah, I just think it was a pen. I honestly, I bet any money if KDB was on the pitch, KDB takes it.
Yeah.
Telling
No, I
you.
agree. No, I agree. But I am saying that still Mamou should, like, if he's on the
Yeah,
pitch.
no, I agree. But there
Yeah.
is a hierarchy on the pitch. I don't know why. There is. There is this hierarchy on a pitch,
and it doesn't extend just to captaincy either.
And it goes. It can extend on age. It can extend on how long they've been there.
Yeah,
I know that sounds weird, and I know it probably does, but there is a
4 matches left. Yeah, just 5 matches left for that.
So, a lot of the chat saying that it is a pen, but again, it comes back to one of those things where it's like, yes, it's a pen, but then the fact that we actually responded by scoring immediately after, I think where everybody's like, yeah, that's fine, let it slide. Another poor decision, but hey, we found our own way to get a goal, get the second goal. So here's what it is. Move on.
You're spot on. The Verts thing is down to Verts. It's not even down to the fee. The fee is the fee is quite easily to be done. It's down to other things. Foggy again. You're a naughty boy, Foggy. But Chrome Abyss has renewed his membership. He's approaching his 1 year. Thank you so much, Chrome Abyss. You, sir, are a legend. Thank you so much. And then the king of the legends, he's here as normal with the 10 gifted. Him and Professor Idiot, the pair of them are on fire there at the minute, as well as Mike and Adam and Louis and Chrome Abyss and Belly Anyone with that amazing. But Mark Fogg, the living legend of the channel, thank you so much for the 10 gifted. And please say thank you. And if you don't say thank you, please give it a big thumbs up just to show the appreciation to your channel. So thank you so much, Mark. Part of Oaks, who would have taken the penalty? Oof. I'm going to guess at Mamouche. That's a guess.
Yeah, I'll probably say that too.
I'm going to guess.
Has he, like, I don't know in Frankfurt who used to take it, but did he used to take any penalties before?
I'm going to be honest, I didn't watch Frankfurt all that often to know who took. Little tidbits, nothing exclusive. There are a couple of tidbits that have come out. But anyway, we'll finish that bit and then we'll come on to the last couple of bits. Man of the match, as anyone, because by the way, I think there was 2 main contenders for me. One was obviously Mateo Kovacic. The other one I've got to give to Nico O'Reilly again. I thought my only thing with Nico O'Reilly, and I know fans love it, I did love it, is I'm not overly keen on the pirouettes. That's a me thing.
It was
I'm
great.
I'm one of them, when they come off, they look amazing. When they don't come off, you look at it.
So, you say that though, Martin, but it depends who we're playing, because remember John Stones did that in the FA Cup final against United the treble season. We went absolutely mad for it. We loved it.
I didn't like it then. I bollocked Aguero, but when he did the Redondo or wherever it was, Panenka, sorry.
No,
when
was
Aguero did the Panenka against Chelsea, I went mad. Hey, that's just me as a person. I'm not into the fancy. Because I was listening to Wolf, who was talking about it on Grumpy Old Men over on Forest Fan TV, was saying how the big thing with Gibbs White is he tries to do trevellas and pirouettes and all this all the time. If he ends up signing, he better stop all that shit, or I'm going to be calling him out.
Yeah.
You don't. Every cross doesn't have to be a trevella. Every pass doesn't have to be with the outside of your foot. We're not playing FIFA street ball here. Yeah. It's not FIFA street ball.
Yeah,
no,
it's like.
But
I was just sorry, Dustman. I was just going to say there was only one player who could do that, and that was actually their game, and that was Ronaldinho.
And I didn't like him for it. It's one of the reasons I don't like Neymar.
I actually don't really hate when players do skills until they are not doing it like over the top. Like I think,
But he did
like
two in 5 minutes. That was the bit that got me.
no,
It was a quick succession.
But do you remember he did that? I think couple of games back as well in our penalty box. He did
Yeah,
the
and I
same
don't
thing.
like it. If we'd have done that in our own penalty box and it had gone wrong, he'd have
No,
been
no,
out of the team the next game.
I actually didn't like it that time because it was in our penalty box. But now, when I have seen this, I think 3-4 times, I think it is just his playing style. He likes to do it, and like I don't know, it's in his playing style. And you know, every player has his own style. I think Bernardo has that turn when he takes a turn with the ball. And David Silva used to have that. Phil Foden has that. Like he looks another way, then he like beats the man. So I think every player has his own style. I think pirouette is his style and it works for him. So until he tries to force that and do that every time, I'm okay with it. But like he shouldn't do that all the time, like you said. But I think it was fine.
Lee, fine. I don't like it. That's personal preference from me. I don't like it. That's just me. I'm not trying to kill anything. That's not the beautiful game. The beautiful game is not Trebellas and flicks. That's not the beautiful game, Lee. I've done coaching, mate. They don't coach you Trebellas and all them. You do that in your own natural ability. I can get coaching manuals out. There's nothing about Trebellas and pirouettes and all this stuff in them, mate. There's no sections on them. The section is on giving, passing the ball, playing games like through the gate and all that. You know, chasing the flags. There's nothing about Penenkas.
Do you think that's more? Do you think that's more where you come from in terms of how you grew up with football as well?
Again,
because I think South America would look at that completely different, and I think the South Americans are something. If they don't do that, I'm going to say, well, this is boring.
Yeah.
That's it's all the flair there and that.
I'm not against it.
Yeah,
I'm not saying people stop it. It's just not my thing.
Yeah,
I'm one of them. If you're going to do it and it fails, you're going to get bollocks. Accept the bollocking.
Mm-hmm.
Accept the bollocking's coming if it goes wrong.
Yeah,
it's what I was never a Ronaldinho fan. I was never a Neymar fan. None of them players were ever my thing.
Well, you say that, Martin, but like if you look at what Neymar did when he was at Santos before he came over to Europe, it was brilliant to watch because it belonged. No, because it belonged it's the sort of thing that defines South American football. It's the sort of thing that defines South American football in a way. But once you come over to Europe, and it doesn't matter if it's in Spain or if it's anywhere in continental Europe or England, I wouldn't say it looks out of place, but sooner or later you're going to get figured out if you keep doing it. But in South America, it's almost a highlight reel basically. And if you're interested in watching that sort of football, then that's the sort of football you should watch day in, day out, in my opinion. But I just don't think you can't do it in Europe because you'll get figured out sooner or later.
Yeah.
There's some rare exceptions to the rule. Ronaldinho being one of them, but that was about it, really.
But that's the thing, BB. Football's about results, not entertainment. For me, also, I think that's just where I'm a bit older at the times. That's all. The beautiful game is the thing. So I'm not having a go at him. I'm just saying. I just said he was up there as man of the match. I'm just saying I wasn't keen on the pirouettes. That was all. Like a Bernardo, where you said Penenka. That's why I was more of a Messi fan than a Ronaldo fan. Because I thought Messi, even though he did the skills, he did the simple stuff more. Messi was more about the simple stuff. Ronaldo was all about the look at me.
Mm-hmm.
Ronaldo couldn't walk past the mirror without giving himself a kiss. I'm like, what you doing? Tit. I don't know, but maybe Kinky did do it, Mike, but that's why we loved it, but it never always worked. That's why it didn't work in the championship, Mike, in the lower leagues. He got the shit kicked out of him. Martin prefers watching Andy Morrison to Ronaldinho. No, I don't. I don't. Neymar was garbage. Yeah, it's what I call Instagram FC signings. Hollywood. Don't let LB hear you say that.
I don't know if Spartacus can back this up, but a lot of Brazilians basically called him Hollywood. That's what I've heard.
See, it's just my opinion. Pause your thought a bit. I'm sorry, Sunjo, can you explain that? I'm sorry, mate. I don't quite understand what that means, mate. And I want to be able to understand and answer anything you want. So if you can just put it. King Cladza, he was great, but that was King Cladza's biggest criticism, that he did too much, you know. That was one of King Cladza's bigger one. What's everyone's opinion? I thought Mamou shot an average first half, second half, thought he came alive. I think Jack Grealish went off at the right time, and I thought Gundo was very good when he come on. He just calmed us down. There were moments, like everyone said, the Morgan Gibbs-White hitting the post a couple of times. Did we get a bit lucky with one or two? Of course we did. I don't deny that. But to win competitions, sometimes you need a little bit of luck. But I honestly thought Morgan Gibbs-White was the... People aren't going to like this. He was the only one trying to dictate anything for Forest yesterday. I thought he'd actually initially had a bad game. Then I watched it back today. And Morgan Gibbs-White was actually their most influential player when you actually watch it. Now, the difference is, I know everyone hates the Morgan Gibbs-White stuff, but Morgan Gibbs-White is playing in a team that does low block. They don't play against low block. They are the low blockers. So everyone's looking at Morgan Gibbs-White as a player that plays in a low block. Now, and the logo, he was from the Championship. He played at Sheffield United. Then he went to Wolves. Jack Grealish was from the Championship. Adam Wharton was from the Championship. There was a big list of players I got that all came from the Championship and became great footballers. David Beckham played in the Championship for Preston. Just because they've been in the lower leagues doesn't mean they're a bad player. My understanding is still where we're at with Morgan Gibbs-White. The club are interested very heavily. He wants to move. No bid has been talked about. That's where we're at. There's been no bids. But he wants to move. He's told Forest he has interest about it. And City also do want him. We have to wait and see what happens now. There are other irons in the fire, other movements. But one thing I will say, for fans who want to bitch, moan and complain, fine, that's your opinion. Just as long as you know, bitch, moaning and complaining will not stop any deal for City. Just so everyone knows that. Moaning about it will not stop it. Diogo Costa, they've agreed terms with the player. They're now talking fees. Quite a way down with that. Was there anything else? Cambiaso's pretty much, apart from cross the I's, dot the I's, cross the T's. I think that's it so far. Wirtz, again, all I've heard in the last few days are very positive things on Florian Wirtz. He's very, very impressed with Pep Guardiola. Very, very impressed. This is the other thing I will say. For all the Pep outers, if there's no Pep Guardiola, there's no chance of ever getting Wirtz. Just so you all know that when you're all going Pep out, you would not get Wirtz. Wirtz is one of the biggest reasons. Sorry, Pep Guardiola is one of the biggest reasons Wirtz is entertaining the City bid.
Yep.
And you have to accept that. Pep is a big thing in all of this. Go on, Dash Mesh. You're looking like you want to say something like that one. Oh, I can tell. I can see the glint in his eye.
I was just
thinking.
I was just thinking, if there's no Pep, there's only one way Wirtz can come, if Alonso comes. So
yeah. So basically, it's not C, it's the manager. Don't make me laugh. You learn me throw.
But yeah, just on that man of the match thing again, I want to highlight Kovacic was amazing yesterday, and I think from the start, I think he was great. He was pressing, he was driving with the ball, gave a assist for Rico, so he was amazing, and he was my man of the match.
Andrew, that's a bit harsh. Moan Gibbs White moans a lot. Did you not like Dickoff then?
I did see Gibbs White after the game apologise to the Forest fans.
He had tears in his eyes, and he had a long conversation with Pep.
Everybody's talking about his reaction with Pep as well, or Pep's reaction with him as well.
It was the eyes.
There was something to that. Yeah. Gave him the eye.
It was like long lost love of hi. Oh,
yeah.
He's signing him and marrying him. What are you doing here, Pep? Calm down.
Surprised he didn't give out a business card.
Neymar wasn't garbage. I never rated Neymar. I never rated him, professional idiot. Every time he came to the Etihad, he got dogs abuse. Dogs abuse. It was weird. I don't know. Imagine Gibbs White, Mamouche, and Haaland together. I'm going to ask you a player. By the way, I thought Doku did very well when he come on yesterday. Very well.
Yeah.
I still have, at the moment, I still think Doku's a better impact player than he is from the start. Mm-hmm. But at some point, the thing that's very intriguing is in the 3 interviews in a row now, post-match, I think it was yesterday, Aston Villa and Everton, Pepper's talked about Doku in his post-match and talked about how he understands he's upset, he understands it's harsh on him, and he feels bad. Do you think Doku's had a word with him somewhere? Because 3 straight post-match interviews, he's talked about Doku specifically.
I wouldn't say he must have had a word with it, but I think he would have seen the body language, because I also think that Doku deserved a start, especially over Savinho, because I don't think last 2 times Savio started, he has been great. I don't think so. So I think even if Doku hasn't said anything, I think Pep would have been able to see that he's not so happy about it. So yeah.
I'd say about an 8, 7 or an 8. So yeah. Pat?
It feels a bit like when we heard the reports about Raheem Sterling going into Pep's office about playing time. And given, I believe, the time of which he did it was sort of like, I think it was more like the final nail in the coffin for his career, basically, as well. Not saying that that's going to happen to Doku, but I think the understanding we have to go with Doku at the moment is that the way that we're playing at the moment, I think it's really hard to get in, particularly from the defense. That's pretty much a lockdown until the end of the season, barring any injuries or anything like that. But I think the way Pep's playing at the moment, it's looking more towards just being way more disciplined with the way we play. Doku isn't. I wouldn't say it's harsh to say Doku isn't disciplined, but at the end of the day, I think we're playing players at the moment who we feel a lot more comfortable on the ball and seeing that we basically settle ourselves in games well, where we can find a goal, keep a lead, look to double the lead or something like that. And maybe Pep just feels more comfortable with certain players on the pitch compared to Doku. But one thing we have to say is that in this run of form that we've had, Doku has been the absolute ultimate super sub for us. Not just because
he's been phenomenal.
Not just because he drives opposing players into the ground after the whole squad's driven him into the ground for 60 minutes. But it just offers a completely different dynamic in terms of the pace of play, the tempo, how rapid he is, from a standing start as well too. And it doesn't just create headaches for whoever's marking him; it creates headaches for everybody else in opposing teams that have to deal with him once he skins his man marker as well. So what he does not only offers a different dynamic, but it also, I think, rejuvenates the other players that are on the pitch as well. So it's a situation where it's like, I'm sure he wants to be playing 90 minutes every single game, but it's like at this point in the season, I think you need to understand your role in the same way that, during the treble season, we had a fixed 11 with maybe 2 or 3 options to rotate. But those rotational pieces knew that you're not going to get into this side because this side is absolutely purring at the moment. And that's kind of similar to what we're doing right now. This current squad is doing good things right now. Doku's not in a position to get in right now. But what you're doing is you're offering such a different dynamic that what you're doing is either winning games for us or you're shutting games down for us, shutting down games for us when we've already got a lead. And I think people need to realize, and hopefully Doku realizes that maybe you're not playing every 90 minutes, but what you're doing right now is so important to us in terms of how we finish the season. And yeah, I get why Doku would want to have more game time, but what you're doing right now is as good as anything anybody else can do over 90 minutes.
The only thing I would say on that, Andrew, yes, our tactics at the moment don't suit direct wingers, Andrew. That's the problem Pep's got. Our system is more inside than it is widening the pitch out. Because the way he widens the pitch, as you know, Alessandro, is that's where O'Reilly and Nunes come in. Because right now, I can't drop Nunes. Nunes is one of the first names on the team, on the sheet right now. Nunes has been fabulous. O'Reilly, fabulous. Gavardio, fabulous. Diaz, thought it was a monster again. I ain't changing the back four the rest of the season. So here's my thing. The problem is that's why Pep said with Doku, he's got to learn to play inside more at an angle. He can't come inside. He wants to go to the byline, hug the touch line and run. Our wingers don't suit that. Because the trouble is, you're going to be overtaking the O'Reilly space or overtaking somebody else's space, like a Nunes. Nunes and O'Reilly are there to get up, down, up, down, up, down, come inside, take a runner, then use it. So where it works with Doku is like for Aston Villa. O'Reilly makes the run. O'Reilly comes inside, inverts into midfield like he did yesterday. He takes one of the opposition players with him. Doku becomes one-on-one with Disasi. So he's no longer two-on-one. When you look at a Doku, he ends up with 2 or 3 players around him. So what you need is a decoy to take the 2 or 3 away from Doku so it gets into a one-on-one. And that's what O'Reilly did against Villa. O'Reilly comes inside. Midfielder that would normally go with a Doku goes to O'Reilly. Doku goes one-on-one with Disasi. There's only one winner. That can only work, though, for about 15, 20 minutes.
Yep.
Because you've got tired people. I know Disasi is a bit different. He was a sub as well. But you can't have O'Reilly doing that all the time, coming inverted for a 90-minute. So that at the moment, that's Pep's even explained it. This is why I'm sorry. It's not nothing against Doku. It's the way my system's set up. If you want Doku and Sabio to play direct wingers, then Gavardio has to go back to left back and O'Reilly comes out. Is that what we want?
The other thing too, Martin, as well, is that we've looked at in recent performances too when Doku has started. It's certainly the first 30 minutes of the game. He always seems to be doubled up. He's got the right back and then either another midfielder or another centre back basically sort of crowding him out and basically forcing him to back pass and things like that. That doesn't happen when he comes in as a sub with 20 or 30 minutes to play. What I think the way Pep's sort of utilizing him in a way is, as you mentioned, he's using Rico. He's using Nico O'Reilly. He's using Mateus Nunes. And if I want to use boxing terms in a way, it's sort of like the opposing players have just been hit with left jabs for 60 minutes. And then basically when Doku comes on, they turn around and say, oh, by the way, we were hitting you with our weak hand. Doku's that right hook that comes in and just absolutely just destroys an already weakened opposition. So what you're doing is you're using your starting 11 to basically run a team into the ground, and then it's just easy pickings for Doku when he comes on.
Yeah. The question is how long Doku's prepared to put up with that. That's the question. Because Mahrez didn't want to put up with it for too much longer. Palmer didn't want to put up with it. And they all went, I need to go. I don't know why Pep buys direct wingers sometimes. I don't think you would think someone at the club would click how Pep plays and go, do you really want this guy? That's why I've always said when people mention Rafael Leao or Nico Williams, I go, not really going to suit us because I can see long term them just being ditched. I can see him being ditched. I don't know. It's a weird one. It's a weird one. That's my only negative on Pep is I don't think I question why he buys direct wingers. Because even at times he uses midfielders as wingers. Foden, Bernardo, more than he's used them before he's used Docker and Sabino sometimes this season.
I think it just comes down to Pep's whole philosophy. He had it his way. He'd have 11 midfielders.
Why buy them though, Pat? Why buy them?
No, I know. No, I get what you're saying.
I think he tried to change the system, but I think how the season went, like we couldn't change the system. And I think another thing which should be in this thought is Haaland is out injured, and if Haaland is back,
he's not now. He's back now.
For last 7-8 games he was not playing.
I thought I was going to say he's back now. Bit of breaking news. He's back now.
Yeah, no, I meant for last few weeks he wasn't playing, and that's why, like, we don't know if we would play exactly the same when Haaland is in the team, and let's say Mamouche is on one of those wings or Mamouche is on the bench, then how would we play? Would we use the wingers more on a direct basis, or it would still be same? Like, I'm not sure yet. So
I don't see us ever doing that. I mean, this is Ellipsis makes a great point. Doku won't tolerate being a permanent super sub. That's my worry.
Oh no, I agree with you, but I think Pep has the ball in his court just because of where we are in the season. If this was happening now in, say, November, December, different story. But we've only got half a dozen games left in the season, less than half a dozen games in the season, and then we have no idea what Pep's plans are for squad management for Club World Cup.
Andrew, you bastard!
Yep,
I can't even.
Andrew, Andrew just beat me to it. Yeah.
BB, the mortgage right called somebody some expert. No, it is genuine. BB, it is genuine. It is genuine. Doku is a game changer for me. He's dropped the risk-taking factors. Yeah. Doku is the best player in the world in the first 5 years. For the first 5 years, still first 5 years. Jesus. That's a good one. Cameron, good evening, mate. Shedders, by the way, has got his 1-year anniversary sticker. So big up to Shedders, mate. I hope you're okay. Cameron, I hope you're okay and you're feeling a lot better, mate. It's lovely to see you on here. Nod to my guy, HMS. Peace off with your HMS stuff, Andrew. It's like you and LB are just loving this. Haaland won't get a new look in his mount. Well, Haaland and Rodri are now. Rodri's back training, not with the first team fuller, but he's back training. Haaland's back training. Rodri, I'm probably going to say, I wouldn't rule out the FA Cup final with Rodri. Depends how we go.
Do we want it though? Do we want it though?
No matter what we want, mate. I keep saying this.
Well, I mean, it kind of does because I mean, fans might have a different.
It really doesn't, Pat. We're not Bayern Munich and owned by the fans, mate.
No. I don't mean as in like let's all burning effigies and pitchforks outside the ground. So we want Roger to play. I mean, in terms of the overall preservation of Rodri, like, is it still one of those things that maybe people still feel like we should just shut him down for the season, or if he's going to get back into fitness, let's do it at the Club World Cup or something like that.
Do you think our medical? Do you think our medical team are that daft?
I'm not concerned about the medical team. I mean,
so that's what I'm saying. They're going off medical advice, so aren't they?
Yeah. Yeah, I get what you're saying. At the end of the day, medical team have, and Pep will have the final say. But I don't know. I mean, we said this from day one since we knew what his injury was, or when he went under the knife. It's not something you want to. It's not something you want to come back quickly from. And I know Rodri's had a quicker recovery than what is medically suggested. I totally get that, but I'm just thinking more along the lines of if you're coming back at this time of the season, maybe the summer coming up is also a benefit in terms of your recovery as well. Look, at the end of the day, if Pep signs off on it, the medical team sign off on it, and he's ready to go, absolutely fantastic. But I also, am not phased if they do decide to give him a little bit more time, just because timing is a beneficial factor in terms of his development now that it's getting towards we're basically the tail end of the season.
And also, like, he wouldn't start for the first time in the FA Cup final. If he doesn't play before that, definitely it will just be, he might be on the bench. He might play 5-10 minutes if the
Yeah, that's
mitigating
what I mean.
says
I don't think he's going to start anything. I think if he
Oh.
plays, it'll be 5 minutes at the most.
Yeah.
And it's
he might get 15 minutes at Fulham or something.
Yeah. I mean, but Pep warned you all. Pep did an interview 2 weeks ago and he was talking about all the players due back, and he named everyone. He said Akanji was back, and he was. Mm-hmm. And then he turned to everyone, he went, Owen Rodri, and winked. It is everything the timescale I've been told that Rodri would be back before the end of the season.
Mm-hmm.
And to
be honest, ahead of schedule too, because they're saying medical.
No, it's not. It's actually not. It's bang on the schedule that they were given.
Oh, okay.
It was only the fans that said. Pep always exaggerates a bit. Pep was the one who said we won't see the best of him till October. Yeah, but they're not going to unleash him just in October.
Mm.
Pep's talking having 2-3 months build up into that.
Yeah,
I think that Pep's means the proper Rodri is. I don't think you're going to see Ballon d'Or Rodri till October, November. Maybe a bit longer. That's when I think that's just my guess. But I always got this off Tone. Did get this off Tone. Is Rodri was always due back at the end of the season, and that's because he was off his crutches, if you remember, very, very quick.
Yep. Here's another thing too. You got to think about as well too. Maybe something to keep an eye on for the start of next season. Maybe out of the blocks, we might see Nico Gonzalez and Kovacic having absolute blinders every single game too, because I'll know Rodri's coming back soon.
I mean, the Club World Cup is in 8 weeks. So
less than 50 days now.
I think he's going to be on there. I'm just saying, I'm not saying he's going to start anything. I think he'll.
No.
Yeah, that's true. Big up. Everyone say goodbye to Foggy. Absolute legend. We'll see you again soon, mate. Feel sorry for Bob. He's got a slight hammy at the minute, apparently, or a slight strain.
Which we kind of were okay if they decided to just do a season shutdown on Bob, weren't we?
Yeah.
Just because you just get recurring one thing after another. It's just.
I'd
like to see him play. I'd like to see him play in the States, but that's it. Yeah.
I've got an update on Canby Arsehole tonight. Very similar to what Craig had said earlier on in LB's. They think it's virtually done, and it should be in for July. It won't be before, because they do want him for the Club World Cup. Juventus wants him for the Club World Cup. So we'll see. Right, the big thing that's come out tonight, obviously today, an open letter from the 4 groups to our actual manager, the Pep Guardiola. He's been signed off by the We Are 1894 group, MCFC Food Bank, Trade Union Blues, and Solid Citizens. And it says this: Pep, congratulations on leading us to another Wembley final. Before the Forest game, you said you understood the fact that fans are facing economic pressures. We are glad you have recognised this, and you have said that you prefer the fan base to be alive and not passive. With this in mind, we ask you for one more favour. Your friends at the club have done many, many good things. Can you ask them to do one more good thing? Can you speak with your good friend, club CEO, Ferran Soriano? The stadium is growing by 8,000 supporters next season, and the fans want the club to bring back some real season tickets so that generational links can be protected. The amount of season ticket holders in the stadium has been shrinking. When fans cannot attend the games, the club then cannot resell those tickets because they are priced way too high. We think the club has time to rethink 2 issues: season ticket availability and match day pricing. No new season tickets has a greater negative impact on the children. The adults, the number of children with season tickets has been more than halved in the last few years. £42 to £58 for children's tickets for the Villa game stops parents bringing their children. We want the same things as you, a powerful club, a loud atmosphere in the stadium. The North Stand redevelopment is a chance to make this happen. However, you will not get the atmosphere you crave if the club do not rethink this. Surely the most important thing is to ensure there are no empty seats inside the Etihad. Make it easier for the fans to attend and you will get their full attendance. This also means more revenue for the club and for the fans to and for the club as the fans would spend more inside. The decisions have to make the club the decisions the club have to make this summer could influence the way the stadium feels for many, many years to come. Thank you, Pep Guardiola, once again for listening to the fans. Signed 1894, MCFC Food Bank, Solid Citizens and Trade Union Blues, Pep Guardiola, Volsky and Kidam. Sorry, Pat, I butchered that, but there you go. So there is the fan letter that has gone out to Pep Guardiola himself today.
It wasn't just the end.
I've got a sore throat, you cheeky lad.
I know. You could have asked me to read it.
Anyway, so that's where we're at with that one. Quick question to the chat. I've been working on some new stuff for next season and the person I work with over in Canada. I want a yes or no. This as we're not changing the logo, but as a more updated thing, the logo going in. But what do you think of this? It is the Etihad Stadium with the Manchester skyline in the background. That is the Tower, Manchester Tower, Town Hall, football, the Mancunian way. It's on the preference of our new away kit that's coming out as well. So give us a yes or a no whether you like that or whether you don't. It's not going to be the new logo for the channel. The new logo is going to be exactly the same, but this will also be incorporated somewhere. We said it was your channel. We're letting you decide. Because we got a bit of... What do you think about that, Dash Mash? Do you like it? Not like it? Pat, get out the comments. What do you think of that, Dash Mash?
I'm not decisive on it yet. Like it depends how, when you say that it's not the logo, it might be used somewhere. It depends. Somewhere.
Oh, yeah, it's not the channel logo. The channel logo is staying the same. Everyone's loving it. Dash Mesh isn't, which is fine. I just want to get people's opinion.
I like the bottom bit, the Etihad Stadium, how it appears at the bottom in blue. I like that section a lot. Not as an overall design, I would say, but the bottom stadium bit I like a lot. Yeah.
Okay. Kalata says yes. Manchester says yes. Echo Falls, it's not city enough for me. Okay. Martin was singing his head off in the short. No wonder he's nearly lost his voice. I was singing yesterday. Linny likes it. I can't decide, says Andrew. Sarah says yes. House captain's laughing. Get rid of the football. Could replace that with the Mancunian Way logo. Looks cool. House captain says yes. The stadium, no. Malk says no. The stadium bit is okay, though. Andrew seems too dark. That's what Ozzy said today. And Ozzy said it seemed dark. But the away kit's dark. I don't know. Not sure. Kathy says a bit too busy.
I know. Martin, it makes sense. I mean, we do have a pundit in Alan on here regularly who always has dark thoughts. So, yeah.
Man Card says, I am a designer. We need another colour. The only trouble is we're trying to keep it to the Manchester City kits for the season, Man City Canada. And this is the colour of the away kit. We are having a black away kit, and I'll show you now. These are the kits for next season. That's the home kit. That's the away kit.
God, I hope that's the away kit.
That I am not incorporating whatsoever because it's a bag of shit. That is
You say that though. You say that though, Martin. But when what I'm saying is that hear me out. What I'm saying is, how often though, whenever we get these releases with just the two colors, and then when the shirt comes out, you're like, hang on a sec, and then when you try it on, you're like, it does change. No, it does change your opinion a little bit. It does change a little bit.
Lollipop man. I'm gonna look at it and feel like I'm crossing the road. That I can just about stomach because I saw someone wearing it yesterday.
Or the DH Gate knockoffs.
Yeah. That one, because it's got St. Mark's written all over it. I love it. That's where that was incorporated from. The home and the away equaled that. Can you see the colour scheme pack? Home, away.
Yep.
There.
Oh, yeah, because the away kit's got plenty of electric.
That
yeah, no worries.
Incorporated because he's frigging hanging. That's lollipop later. We're not doing lollipop.
Do you know, bring up the away kit again? No, bring up the away kit again. I just wanted to make a suggestion, like something that look really cool. How cool would it be if you got rid of the Puma logo and put a St. Mark's cross adjacent to Manchester City?
Do you know what would have been better?
Or sorry to interrupt, mate. Or if you put the St. Mark's cross on the sleeve, on the opposite sleeve to where the advertising is.
Why not put the St. Mark's cross behind the Manchester City logo and have the Man City logo on top of the solid white?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Or have it as like a like that's like some kits they do where they have like that faded off black, and they have like an off black faded cross behind the Manchester City logo or something like that. So it's just a really subtle, unless you're like looking at the shirt and you can actually see it, like something really subtle underneath. The problem I have is with that kit is that looks like something that you should have in 2030 when we're 150 years of St. Mark's.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a weird one. Needs rain on it.
It still looks great though. I'm such a fan of it. I can't wait. I'll buy that before I get the home kit.
Yeah, leave that green one. We're not doing that friggin'. We're not doing the third kit.
I'm gonna get one just to wind you up. First show back next season. Look, I'm broke at the moment, but it was all for a greater cause.
By the way, I will confirm we're having 2 weeks off in the summer. We're going to do Club World Cup content. We're going to do watch-alongs, and we're going to do other stuff. We have got other ideas. Episode 7 of the podcast, City Till I Die, which is now part of the Mancunian way. If you go under the description, Tone and Fee have now been added into it all. Gilmore Tees as well. Get over there, show her a lot of love. Links in the description. We're looking at ideas. I'm going to try and arrange a meeting next week with everyone, time levels permitting, where we can chuck some ideas, because we're going to look an idea Tom come up with. I think it's quite good, which we'll talk about at a later date. Wednesday, episode 2 of Aussie Down Under, Pat. Is that on?
Yes, it's on. I'm just waiting for Keely and Nick to get back to me in terms of times.
I love the way he ignores Alan. I love the way he ignores Alan out of it.
It's sort of just leave him to his own devices. I don't want to make plans for the unplannable panelists. So anyway, we'll be back Wednesday, probably around about, I think a little bit earlier this time, maybe about 10 a.m. UK. If anything changes, of course, we'll let you know. And Martin will post the details up in the coming day or two. So yeah,
it was a bit bold because it's going to be hard. Yeah, because you made a great point there, David, about putting the extensions on it. Oops, that's not what's happened there. What's going on here? Friggin' hell. My mouse has just got into mind of its own. DC said minging. DC's not a fan. Puke Green.
Wait, is DC talking about the kit or the
other one? I think she means the third kit.
I think she's talking about the kit. Yeah.
Any news about the open panel discussion with fans? Which one? We're still going to do the fan calling shows. We're still going to do the American show, and we're still going to do it. Some of them won't start till next season, so Joe. But we are, before the end of the season, we will do another fan calling show, so people can come in and they can have a chat with us as well. Dash Mesh is always welcome. He knows that. Patty's turning on nursery settings for Alan. World Cup, the Club World Cup is on Channel 5. It is. All right, thank you, DC. I appreciate that. So yeah, anything you want to add, gentlemen, before we leave?
No, not for really. I mean, you didn't ask me man of the match, and I'll still say it's Gavardio for having a man mark Chris Wood for so long. But apart from that,
I thought I had a man of the match.
Each man to their own. But yeah, look, I just have to get that in for obvious reasons. Yeah, look, I can't be anything more than just positive given the weekend, and yeah, just looking forward to just trying to wrap up this top 5 with ASAP, and yeah, look forward to seeing everybody on Wednesday. So yeah, besides that, enjoy your week, everyone.
Let you know, we're 23 likes away from 200. Can we hit 200 likes live? 23 away. Come on, there's 218 of you. There must be 23 people who have not hit that thumbs up. 3 people have disliked us for some weird reason. They still haven't figured yet that disliking us even helps the channel. Any interaction helps, even disliking it. So 23.
That was Alan's burner accounts that did the dislike. You didn't message me when I fucking woke up.
Don Sam's actually all right at the minute. Me and him are getting on all right at the minute. Just had a shower. Good night again. Bloody hell, Mark. Dip in and out, mate. He had us on in the shower. Foggy wanted your lovely dulcet tones there, Pat, while he had a shower.
Well, I wouldn't call it an ASMR channel, but yeah. Just let me start rubbing my microphone. There you go.
Aye, we've lost Pat completely. We've lost Pat completely. He's disconnected from his camera and his microphone and gone. I actually don't know what's happened with Pat. I've not kicked him. He's gone on his own. Anyway, massive thank you to everyone who's joined us. Oh, he's back. Oh, dear.
I'm just going to stay with this. I don't know what that camera's doing.
The camera disconnected everything. He's gone.
Again, yeah.
We're going to end. I will say, we may be back tomorrow. But we'll be back Wednesday, 10 a.m. roughly in the UK early for Aussie Down Under. We'll be back Thursday. Friday Waffle Show Friday. Post-match Saturday. We'll do a Wolves post-match because remember, we're playing Friday this week. Friday at 8 p.m. And we'll also, might do something tomorrow, but big up to Dash Mesh, big up to everyone in the chat, big up to Pat. You're all legends. Take care, and we'll see you. Always be here.
Quick, just say bye now before everything goes to shit again.
Bye, all.
Bye.
And as always, up the Blues. City are going to Wembley again. Hat trick of finals. See you later, Blues.